It was very late at night, and like every sane person in the planet, I was watching Instagram reels. Then I came across a certain reel. It was like anime that isn't talked about, and I was kind of excited for this because it's always good to know some good anime to watch later on. But the answer he gave was rather disappointing.
Morbid one, but I would say Jujika no Rokunin. Can you explain what it's about a little bit? It's about like this 15-year-old kid. He's getting bullied by a bunch of other 15-year-old kids. He moves out of his city to get away from them, but they follow him and they start doing terrible things to him. He basically goes on a revenge streak and he basically gets revenge on like literally every bully. He's kind of like the
Could possibly the worst answer he could have given. I mean, I gotta props to this guy because he kind of made it sound really good. And me personally too, I really can't shit on this too much because I actually rated it a 9 in my anime list. Although for my defense, I would say I had only read 53 chapters at the time, and it was like 2 or 3 years ago, and I was, just a teenager, so you gotta spare me for that. But now, having read kind of like 185 chapters, I think I can change my opinion and say it kind of has dropped into like 5 zone. I mean, it's not awful, but it really isn't good too, and for really bad reasons. Now, I do want to say there will be spoilers, but I will be saving a lot of people's time. So now, let's start with a simple run through. This right here is our main character named Mushroom, and by looking at this panel you can see he is getting bullied. And now, who are the bullies? These guys. Now, we don't really care about their names except for this guy because he's the main villain of this whole manga, so we are just gonna call them diddlers for now because they are evil for no reason. Now, if I like them, I would honestly kind of call them menace because I don't know why being called menace actually sounds cool. Now, the reason our main character wants to take revenge is this guy just straight up caused an accident. Like he just pushes this guy, causing a car accident, killing the main character's parent, and now the brother's kind of alive. But let's just say what happens to the brother. Option A, he like fucking beat up. Option B, being they just burn him. Option C, they kill him. And option D, they spare him. Now, from the way how the parents got killed, you might choose option C, they kill him. But you will be wrong, cause the answer is actually option A, and along with A, the answer is also B, and technically it's also C, cause they beat him, they burn him, and he technically survives and now is in coma. And now the main character is furious cause he knows who killed his parents and did this to his brother. And while the main character was furious, he was right in front of the only family member remaining, the grandpa. And grandpa coincidentally was a part of a special army, special ops something, and he's like, yeah, let me help you too. And let me just say the grandpa is probably the coolest and the best character in the whole series. And now, of course, we gotta have a time skip to high school because we gotta get stronger. Now, if you look at these covers, you might notice something, that these cover art are really cool, clean, and just really attractive. And yes, the art is one of the manga's best points. It's clean and it does its stuff very well. And now this manga is kind of very fast paced. Immediate after that time skip, we get in the high school where these bullies are, and immediately after a few chapters we get to see revenge, and the way the revenge is taken is really satisfying. We kind of get more about these bullies, we get to see what they are doing with their life, and it just makes situation worse. I think some of these scenes are really unnecessary, which just made the revenge very satisfying. Let's look at this guy for example, whose skin is getting peeled. I can feel the pain. Similarly for this guy, his toes nail and his fingernails are getting torn apart, and he's get a sounding treatment in his dick through this medieval equipment. These panels were really horrifying to look, but at the same you kind of felt good too because these characters are straight up trash. And let me just say that this manga is under shonen, like the goddamn shonen. I mean, I kind of understand like there may be different publication under shonen which may allow this kind of stuff, but I don't think anybody expects this when they hear shonen. By looking at these panels and how the story is so far, you might say it's pretty decent. It's serving the revenge and it's going pretty smooth. But that is where the problem starts, cause the revenge actually never happens. Now, let me explain now. So, up until now, we are into 53 chapters. The 4 out of 5 of the main cast of villains are dead, and the only one remaining is of course the main antagonist. And now we have also reached at the climax where the brother has woken up from the coma and grandpa is involved in the fighting as well. So we are at the climax where we actually encounter the main villain, but the confrontation which should lead to a happy ending leads to the death of the grandpa and the brother, which gets our main character into trouble and he goes to prison because he was kind of involved in that whole scene when the police came there. But now we are back to the zero. The main character is serving a few years. When he gets free, he loses his memory. He works now for a kind of like hitman organization where people call for services to kill other people. And can you guess the name of the organization? Jujika no Dokuna. Wow. And now we go to cycle of regaining the memories and get introduced to some characters from earlier parts. And you might say, how does this work? Because the 4 out of main villains are dead. And that it works because this fucking villain pulls out more villains off his ass like out of nowhere. And that's how the plot continues. And now the main villain is a like world level threat. He's now some sort of religious leader who kind of controls many people. Now, I said earlier that I read 185 chapters, but while making this video, more chapters came out and I read few more. It is now revealed that the main character was actually really good friends with the main villain. And we also get some backstory of how it happens, and how we also get to see how the 4 of the main villains of the earlier chapters turn evil. Thing I can guess is authors want to sell more copies and gain more money. That's why he's making more chapters of this totally unnecessary shits. And one thing I want to say about this manga is the amount of sexual violence in this. I could understand if it is berserk, but even Miura himself, the author himself, said that he kind of regrets adding some of the scenes. Like, there are so many sexual scenes which are really unnecessary. Somebody stop this author, man, because he's still going on. Because I said that earlier, the few of the backstories of the villains, how they turn evil hasn't revealed, and in those chapters, those stuff are still going on. Like, I've just seen some heinous shit of like a child raping a child. It's not shown in panel because I'm sure the manga would be cancelled, but you can understand it happens. Yeah, this is all I have to say, I guess, because this nothing more, because the plot straight up shit that I can't say much more to. I hope you enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe and like.